One Finance and MoneyControl present Personal Finance Unlocked. Download the One Finance app. Investments in the securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
Hello and a very warm welcome to this special webisode, Personal Finance Unlocked by One Finance, powered by MoneyControl, where we look at simplifying financial concepts and goals and empower our viewers with insights that can help them manage their money and assets in a way that it supports their life's dreams and aspirations while keeping them safe and protected. Now, within the realm of personal finance, liabilities are often seen as the financial obligations or debts we owe, and they play a significant role in our overall financial well-being. If planned right, they can be a source of growth, but can also lead to stress and chaos and confusion otherwise. Today, we will explore why comprehending liabilities is essential and how effective debt planning can lead to better financial stability and freedom. Joining me today to talk about the subject, Harsh Roonta, financial coach and SEBI-registered investment advisor. Welcome to the webisode.
It's a pleasure.
One of the things that comes to everyone's mind, borrowing is not new. It is the most popular form of getting money. Having said that, why is it still so complicated? And what are the most common mistakes people make?
First, we just need to understand why borrowing is so popular. I think borrowing goes back as much as civilization does. It's because natural selection actually favors instant gratification. Obviously, when our ancestors were in the jungle, okay, if you could get meat lying around, why would you hunt, right? And if somebody gave that to you, okay, why would you hunt? So, I think it's inbuilt into our natural selection favors it. So, some animals, say those who hibernate, have built-in delayed gratification to the limited extent of say one season they will store the food. Human beings do not hibernate. So, we have never learnt, naturally we have never learnt how to save. And therefore, when somebody comes along and says here is some money, go do what you want, there that caters to our very primal instinct of instant gratification, and that is why loans are so extremely popular. The only issue is that after civilization has come in, there are now laws, and the guy can actually implement his right to recover that money with interest, and therefore, you need to do it with care, and you cannot give in to the extent that, because what are you doing when you borrow? You are essentially pledging your future income to pay for the current gratification.
True.
So, there are various things that you could do. You need to make sure that before you take a loan, that it is a right loan. And in the days, I've earned a living out of hawking loans. I used to run a company called apnaloan.com. So, we had this formula of a AAA formula for a good loan or a bad loan. So, a good loan is one as defined there, that either adds to income or it adds to your asset. One of the two it does.
Right.
And condition that it is appropriate.
Now, there are good loans and bad loans. How would you simply define those for our viewers?
Like a lot of things in life, they are not extremes. This is a continuum, and there is a lot of gray. Let me give an example. Let us say a car loan, typically a car loan by the AAA framework does not add to an asset because the car is a depreciating asset. Okay, and let us say it is appropriate, but it is now neither adding to, it is not adding to asset. So, that would be the wrong reason to take a loan. But think of it this way, if I am a financial advisor, my ability to be productive depends on my ability to be able to travel, right? And in a city in which public transport is not good, and till now most of the cities in India were like that, and hopefully that will change, but as of now that is the situation. In which case it adds to my income. Having a transportation of my own adds to my income because it allows me to practice, right? And therefore, it becomes a good loan.
It's an essential utility.
So, even let us talk of a loan to take a vacation, and I have heard this from a client
Yeah.
and I completely agree. Okay. So, here is a client who is going to be getting a a big bonus.
Yeah.
Okay. His family life is under stress. He wants to go on a holiday just to de-stress and spend some quality time with his family. It's a short 6-month loan. Bonus is going to come in. I think that's a good loan because it adds to his income. Obviously, it does not add to his asset,
Right.
but just the peace of mind that he gets, okay, by being able to de-stress, being able to spend quality time with his family, right? And as long as it is appropriate, no, as long as he is not going on a sort of an Alaska cruise for 30 days, okay. If he could afford that, great. If he can't, then he should be doing something appropriate.
Right.
I think if you follow this framework, it's reasonable. You can stretch this.
Right.
I mean, this framework can be stretched, but I think people instinctively know the difference between a good loan and a bad loan. Instinctively, people know the difference between a need and a want.
Yeah.
I don't think so. A mobile phone, for example, and if I don't have the money, a mobile phone today adds to my income because without the mobile phone, I can't be earning.
Right.
But is it appropriate? If I am buying the latest iPhone or the latest One Plus or Plus Plus or something that's come, right? That's 1.5 lakhs.
Yeah.
It's not appropriate.
There are a lot of times when people buy a lot of things on installment. Now, everything can be bought on installment. All your white goods come in installment. Everything is available, instant gratification. So, how do you assess whether this loan which I am taking, in the long term, I will be able to pay? What are those things that one needs to keep in mind before taking a loan?
So, two things. One is whether the loan is good or bad.
Correct.
Okay. Second thing is that what percentage, all the loans put together, and that includes installments. Okay. People think 0% install, is 0%. And if you believe that there is a 0% interest loan, then I am sure you also believe there is a tooth fairy, right? I mean, which bank in the world will give you a 0% loan? They are not in this for charity. So, and now they are required to disclose as per RBI norms. Look hard enough at the documents and you will find what interest rate you are being charged on the so called 0% interest, 0% interest loan.
Installment, yeah.
So, the point is this, that if the total of all installments, what in jargon terms we call the debt service coverage ratio, what percentage of your income goes towards meeting past obligations, right, that you have already incurred. Now, you have eaten, you have taken the instant gratification, what percentage of your income in the future will go towards paying for the gratification today, right? And that, I think, around 1/3 is considered reasonable.
All right.
Again, it will depend. As your income goes up, the percentage actually goes up, not down.
When you are taking, say, unsecured loan, what should you be careful about? Because as we were talking, if people started to listen to the good gyan that was given, life would be so easy. But people do take instant gratification, as you said, they do take unsecured loans. So, where is the line where you draw about unsecured sources?
So, again, let's make an attempt. Okay, maybe people will listen, people will not listen, right? But it is still our job to go on keeping on saying it.
Yeah.
Even if it helps X number of people, to those people it has been useful. To that much extent, we have to keep repeating what we are saying. So, typically, in most cases, unsecured loans will always fall in the bad category, okay, because they have to add to income. They are not adding to asset, because if the asset was valuable, the bank would have taken it as a security.
Where would you put credit cards?
So, credit card is that. So, credit card, what does credit card do? It artificially inflates the amount of money available to you And it's very interesting, right? I had written about, why shopkeepers accept credit cards and other truths of life. So why do you think shopkeepers accept credit card? Now, if you pay cash, they get 100 rupees if you shop for 100. When you pay by credit card, they get only 98 and a half, and yet why do they accept it? One reason is that everybody accepts it. If you don't accept, clients won't come. That's just one reason. Why did they accept it when nobody was accepting it? Why? That's because it's proven that when people pay by credit cards, they buy more. So what you lose, that 1.5%, you more than make up, because you're now selling an upgraded version. कि इतना ही तो ना ज़्यादा है ना, अब थोड़े पैसे देने हैं. We have to give money later.
Correct.
Okay. So I think this need for instant gratification, and that allows you to upgrade, that allows you to buy two. Okay, I think that is what the credit cards or unsecured credit all caters to, and that's why it's so popular, and that's why it is so dangerous.
You spoke about younger audience, you spoke about younger people who now want to buy fancier things. They have a safety net, they are earning well, so they want to invest in things that bring gratification and happiness to them. A lot of it is now equated with the mental health as well, that this makes me feel good and better, and so I do it. All right, let's park that thought and say that it is fine. Having said that, when you're younger, you don't really think of an emergency fund, you don't think of your retirement planning, etc. When that should be starting when you start to earn. When you're planning debt and when you're planning your liability planning, how should it go in tandem with the other financial plans of your life?
So the best liability planning is that liability planning is a result. Okay. It is not something you plan your life. So your assets should be acquired as per a plan. When you are acquiring, when you are not impulsively buying, you don't impulsively buy a house, you don't impulsively buy a car, you don't impulsively buy a bike, depending on your income levels.
Correct.
And not every young person has a parent on which they can fall back upon, right? So and I think the younger generation is smart. So it's just that we have a lot of youngsters, right? So there will always be both kinds. And ironically, it is the ones with people who can actually afford to spend are the ones who are not spending. It is the ones who may not be able to afford to spend are unfortunately spending because they see for the first time they have a runway in front of them. I am earning and I am probably going to be earning okay, for the next 30 years. So why not take today what I would have to save and invest? That doesn't come naturally to us. So I think liability planning first is never take anything on a loan, right, without first having what you are buying with the loan should be a part of a plan. Never take a loan just because never buy a thing because a loan is available. Loan is only a means to an end.
Right.
It should not become the reason why you buy something. Okay, so I think that is the best form of liability planning. That plus the framework, good loan, bad loan. So loans are not all bad. I mean, a home loan today. So if you hark back to the time when I joined the industry, this was in the mid 80s, okay, the only home loan lender was HDFC. LIC Housing Finance was there, but it was like an 80-20 race. Individuals bought houses in their late 40s or early 50s, right? Today, people in their late 20s, okay, 28, I think the average age of a home buyer is fallen to the late 20s.
Correct.
Now, that is a good revolution to have. It's good for the country, okay, because when you buy houses, you're giving a lot of impetus to a lot of industry, okay. whether you're giving employment in a lot of heavy industry, it is something
for the
that's
country and everything.
extremely same applies to cars as long as it is appropriate. I think the key thing is appropriate also.
Right. When we talk about good loans, we still have a lot of things to consider. What is the tenure? What is the percentage you are paying? If you want to quit early, does your loan allow you to do that? Having said that, a lot of people do not read the fine prints and they end up in trouble. Secondly, a lot of people don't even know about credit scores. If you could tell our viewers why knowing your credit score is important and how it is actually connected with your credit card as well. And half of the time you don't realize that even if there is a delay of 2-day or a 3-day payment, it starts reflecting on your scores.
So, you raised 2-3 things, right? I mean, you spoke about credit scores. What was the first thing that you spoke?
I was just saying that with good loans also you need to read the fine print.
Okay. So, as far as fine print is concerned, I think nobody can read the fine print. Frankly, I have arrived at that conclusion. Even for me, it is a struggle to keep up with the fine print that is given in the agreement. Okay. And if you read the agreement, you can't sign it. You can't sign it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, the best way to do the fine print is this: make sure that the loan you are taking is a what they call a variable rate loan. Okay. So, a variable rate loan at least allows you to shift without any charges. That is RBI regulation, no matter what is written in the agreement.
Good point.
Okay. So, I think stick to a variable rate loan, stick to a bank, because banks have far tighter regulations than the non-banking finance companies. Stick to secured loans, do not take unsecured loans. I think these are simple rules to follow.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Only secured loans, no unsecured loans, stick to banks, stick to variable rate loans.
Right.
I think these 3 things if you do, you do not
You're
need to
sorted.
read the fine print. Okay. Second, credit score. Now, what is a credit score? It is simple. There is somebody out there, it said that when we go up there, there is Chitragupt who will keep track of all the sins you committed and all the good things you did, right. Credit bureau is doing that here on earth for all your debts, and that includes your credit card. Credit card is very much a loan that you have taken or an ability to take a loan that you have taken. So, how much have you spent? Did you pay that back on time? How much loans did you take? Did you pay that back on time? Bank is keeping score and it is by law required to report it to all the 4 credit bureaus. They are called credit information companies, and they in turn from all banks based on your let us say PAN, they will incorporate the data for this PAN. These are the 4 loans, these are the 2 credit cards, this is a whole balance sheet. If you delay in one, and now when you go to the 7th person to borrow,
they have
access to this. Okay. It has many other things as well, because when you apply for loans, they ask for your credit report. Now, that indicates that you are looking for more loan when you already have so much loans. So, that indicates, as they call, a credit appetite. That also has an impact, especially if it is unsecured loans. So, I would be very careful about unsecured loans, even considering them, because when you even consider them, they hit your credit bureau, there comes that he is asking for a loan. You are not even aware, you are thinking I am just buying this on 0% interest installment.
But it is all.
But it is going there, even if you ultimately say I do not want it.
Well, with that, it's a wrap. Thank you so much for all those insights and especially for your time, Harsh. And this was such a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, Mugdha.
Well, in conclusion, understanding and managing your liabilities are fundamental steps in achieving financial stability and freedom. Remember, informed decisions and a proactive approach to debt planning can pave the way for a more secure and prosperous financial future. Thanks for watching.
One Finance and MoneyControl present Personal Finance Unlocked. Download the One Finance app. Investments in the securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.